Uh, testing. Toad and darn it. Okay, it works. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. Y'all, I swear. Give me 1 second. Okay, guys. Okay. So I asked what this out, and what I heard is your process, your truth. So you're in a process. It's something that, it's probably been difficult for you. It's probably been something that's really just got you in a funkadocious space. Let's see what your soul is trying to say. Oh, okay. Your souls are calling y'all out. Okay. So, this attempt for you to remain in a space of behaving like a fledgling, believing that you're a fledgling, it's going to be unsuccessful. Fledgling, unsuccessful. It's going to be unsuccessful. Your soul is pushing you forward in this journey of recalibrating your perception of yourself. It's time for you to enter into a space of individuality, recognizing that you are individual, your process is very unique to you. There is no using other people as a benchmark for how well or how badly you're doing. All of us have a specific timeline that our souls have us on. And whatever this timeline is, it's unique to you. Whatever's happening in your timeline, it's properly calibrated and scheduled so that you reap the greatest benefits possible. This lack of love for self, right? This struggle to love yourself as you're going through the things that you're going through, it's going to lead to more growth, but it's also going to first cause you to feel very broken. It's going to cause you to feel very much disenchanted with your journey. It's going to cause you to feel very lost, very, just all these really negative things. I was telling someone near and dear to me that what you feel is valid, but what you feel is usually not the actuality of your reality. And I think that's something that we all need to kind of be reminded of. You can feel whatever you feel about yourself, about your journey, but is your feeling rooted in the actuality of your reality? We have some people feeling like they are worthless. We have some people feeling like their existence doesn't matter, that they're drama, they're too much, they're not enough, all these really negative things. But are they? Are they? Probably not. Probably not. They're probably something that is hard for them to accept. A person that's cherished by others, a person that carries a type of gravity that no one else does. And it creates an increase in their value that they can't quite comprehend or accept. Just because you can't doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It doesn't mean that it's not true. For one, I oftentimes struggle with the acceptance and the realization of the gravity of the work that I do, what I offer people, um, the profound nature of the way I think and perceive the world, the way my life circumstances, the way my life experiences have powerfully cultivated me into someone that is extremely aware. To me, that's my norm. So, like, what's the big deal? I don't, I mean, I know there's value to it, but I don't see what the big deal is. I just don't. Does that mean I have a reduced value than what I actually have because I can't quite process what that means? I don't think so. I do not have a reduced value because of that. And that's something I had to work really fucking hard to kind of just accept, that as I grow, as I go through the things that I go through, my understanding of myself will increase. It's through the hardship, it's through the struggle, it's through the existing in your absolute unapologetic truth that you begin to realize the true nature of you and the full value that you carry inside of you. So I used to go through these cycles, right? And I think many of you can relate to this. These cycles where I would feel deeply within myself a lack of value, um, like I'm very irrelevant to the world around me. Uh, yeah, you know, it's in those moments that I get inspired by my struggle, by my internalized um, self rejection, that partitioning of the parts of me that are quite possibly the most important, most powerful, most beautiful. It's so many cycles of me partitioning those parts, being ashamed that those parts exist, that I entered into a space where I decided I'm tired of that. I'm tired of the character that I think I have to play to appease people, because really I do that. And people tell me, Emmy, we love you. Just be yourself. You don't have to give so much. You don't have to do all of this that you do, like it's too much. And then you have other people who will tell me like, oh, you're selfish. Oh, you're withholding yourself. So really, you can't please everyone. And then I came to a point where I was just like, you know what? I'm myself. That's all I can be, because fuck that at this point. And amazingly powerful things happened when I got to the point where I was like, all I can be at this point is me. If it's not enough, go find more. If it's too much, go find less. But you're not going to tell me who to be anymore. I'm not going to be pressured into continuing to exist as a caricature of the parts of me that I think the world can more easily digest, easily accept. I'm good. I'm good. If you don't have a developed palate, go eat bland food. Go. That's okay. It's not a loss. It's not a loss. And it's not that it's not a loss because um, you have no value. No, it's not a loss because you were never meant to be in my life and my journey. Go find what resonates with you. And I'm going to leave my space open for that which aligns and resonates with me. And as I've lived my life in that way for a couple of years at this point, um, really beautiful things have happened for me. A community has developed, formed around me without me planning to. That it was not my intent to create a community. It just happened. I just woke up one day surrounded by genuine support and love. Like all of you who join me on a regular basis, you share space with me on a regular basis. You know my attitude, you know my personality, you know when someone's acting a fool, they about to catch a hot one out my mouth. You know what I'm saying? Some people. And I don't have to partition any part of me anymore. All that energy that you spend trying to be careful about what parts of you are witnessed. I mean, I get it. Having been through it myself, I get it. But also, having been through it myself, it was so fucking nonsensical to do all of that. The people who have a problem with you existing in your most authentic state, do you want me to talk about that? Those are the people who have a problem with themselves, and they're kind of like, how dare you think you're better than everyone, thinking that you have the right to be free when none of us are. And it's like, bitch, worry about yourself. That's what I feel like telling people like that. Like, worry about yourself. Why are you so fucking concerned with me? Worry about yourself. And maybe some of you need to say that. Maybe. Because this war, the warrior, right? This war that you're fighting within yourself, for what? That really irritated me. For what? Why are you fighting a war within yourself? To appease the expectations, the demands of someone who's never really been interested in you existing in a healthy way. I'm good. I'm good. I've learned to accept my existence as I am, whether I try or not, will trigger some people. It will offend down to the core others. They're none of my concern. They're not a part of my community, and they continue to enter into my space. That's on them. You want to trigger yourself? Keep watching. I don't give a fuck. Keep watching, right? I'm not here for those people. I don't exist for those people to accept me. Because, I learned something really powerful from Soul. If I continue to exist as I am with no apologies, not only will I draw the people to me that are at that point in their journey where they need to be able to see someone outside of themselves existing in a way that is authentic and unapologetic, because it gives them the courage to do that for themselves. So that's very much aligned. There's very much resonance there. And then you know what ends up happening? As long as you continue to do that with integrity, transparency, honesty, you then become the face, the front runner of a movement that empowers the entire world. You become the majority. I think that's one of the most powerful things about being publicly witnessed. I don't categorize myself as a public figure. I don't categorize myself as an influencer, content creator, or any of those other things regarding social media. I'm just a woman, a mother that is sharing my introspective moments with the general public. And whoever needs to hear it, I have blind trust in Soul that they will receive the message when they're ready to receive it. They'll cross my path when they're ready. And there's no need to rush them, no need to do anything but be who I am. That's it. That's it. Just be who you are. Your process, your truth. That's what Soul told me before this conversation started. Your process, your truth. You have to be honest with yourself about where you're at in your process. If you're at a space where you still regularly attack yourself, regularly put yourself down because you're trying to keep up with someone else's process, someone else's timeline, you need to be honest about that, because that's not fair. It's not fair to you. It's not fair in any way, shape, or form. And it's something that eventually, hopefully, you will really begin to put effort in rectifying that. Because until you do, you will not be the high priestess of earth. Yeah, high priestess of earth. You will not enter into a space where you are more comfortable navigating your own life. It's not that it's impossible, it's that it requires you to enter into a space of compliance with your process. You have to work with yourself, not against yourself. Work with yourself, not against yourself. Again, cycles coming up, right? You're in a cycle. This is nothing more than a cycle that the feeling that I'm being given, this is a cycle that's intended to cycle you out of your old cycles. But again, it's all about what it is that you're allowing. Are you fighting the cycling out of the old cycles? For many of the people in our community, y'all are peaceful AF, right? Y'all are super peaceful. You don't like conflict. You don't like confrontation. You'll bite your tongue. You'll try and maintain a peace that really never existed. That's okay. I was there as well for a very long time. Here's the thing. And I think maybe this is a shift in perspective that's absolutely necessary at this point. Has anyone ever pointed out to you that you are so kind, compassionate, and patient with all of the people around you, including the nasty people, right? You can be so kind and patient. But when it comes to you, like hot diggity, damn, okay, mommy dearest, what the fuck? You're over here holding a fucking metal hanger. Okay. You're ready to like yourself with a metal hanger because I don't know. I don't know. Soul finds a way to create a way. Ooh. You know, I went to the gym for the first time since being laid out for several weeks already. I went to the gym today. And, you know, it was invigorating, but also frustrating because I lifted a fraction of what I normally lift. Um, Typically, on the type of day that I selected for my workout, I will lift on average between 80 to 90,000 pounds. Today, I lifted, I think, 26 or 27,000 pounds. It's a fraction. That's a fraction. And I'm like, okay, I didn't get injured. I feel good right now. Nothing feels tight. I do still need to stretch, but everything feels fine. It feels normal. And that's a good thing. It's a very good thing. But then also I feel like God, I could have done more. I could have pushed. I could have lifted way fucking more than what I was lifting. My muscles wanted it. I could feel it. My body was craving it. Was my body craving it? Or was it my ego? I still honored my process. I honored the promise that I made that I would take it slow. Um, yeah, I honored that. I didn't push at all. I did what I felt was necessary to just kind of keep that connection between the mind and the muscle. And, you know, the workout finishing after only an hour when normally I'm there for like 3.5 hours, it frustrated me. It did. It frustrated me. I felt cheated, but I wasn't. That's me trying to find another way to love myself, right? And it's like I'm never going to achieve the things that I want to achieve because this is the cycle. This is my life and it fucking sucks. It sucks. It's frustrating. And so I made sure to go to the stop at the front desk to talk to the manager, ask her if she's going to do her show because I know it's coming up. And yeah, she's going to do her show. It's like, oh shit, girl. Right? Super exciting, super, super exciting. Very, very happy for her. Things played out perfectly for her. And then in the middle of the conversation, she tells me, oh, I want to introduce you to our new team member. And I was like, oh, there's a guy standing there. And she goes, this is so and so. And I was like, well, hello. And she says, he's our new personal trainer. I said, oh, that's awesome. So because we were talking about shows, he's talking about, I know I'm totally inappropriate. I was like, do you still need someone to spray tan you? Because I know I had volunteered spray tanning a complete stranger, nearly butt booty naked. I was just like, do you still need someone to stab you? I'll spray you if you do. And she said no, she's just gonna go with the vendor that the show is using. And I was like, oh, perfect. That's even better. And then he starts talking to me about tanning stuff. And then we get on the topic of how he competes as well. He was in fabulous shape. He competes as well. And then I was like, oh, okay, you're a personal trainer. You compete as well. Do you do competition prep? And he's like, yeah, actually, I do. And I was like, oh, really? He's like, yeah. And then we start talking even more. And he talks to me about how many weeks it would take, how many weeks out. And the conversation progresses. And he's like, if we were to go forward with coaching, this is the show that I'd want you to do. And it's like August time. And I said, you really think I can do that? I've just recently injured my rib again. And he was like, yeah, that would give us enough time for rehabbing that injury, strengthening you, leaning you out and everything. And I'm just like, holy fucking shit. And I was just griping to myself about how that opportunity is gone. Is it? If it's in alignment, if what you want so badly is in alignment with what your soul wants you to experience for the betterment of you, for your awareness of your capacity, capability, strength, stamina, all of these amazing fucking things that you don't know anything about yourself. And I'm not saying you don't know about that subject matter. I'm saying you don't know about your gravity within that subject matter. You don't know how it applies to you. Life finds a way to show you. Life finds a way to make it happen. And I'm over here thinking, like, okay, if he's doing all of that, like, that must be ridiculously fucking expensive. I was looking at competition suits. It's basically bedazzled panties and a bra. Not even, it's a bikini. It's a bedazzled bikini. They just glue rhinestones to it. That fucking shit costs $1,000. $1,200 to be exact. And I'm gonna need molded cups because I have a lot of loose skin. That's like $1,600. What the fuck? So I'm over here thinking, this shit's gonna be expensive. He just messaged me, it'll be $200 a month. And if I want to buy a package deal, 3 months, $450. Boom, got it. Affordable in my eyes, because if the suit is $1,000-something fucking dollars, I can manage that. I can figure that out. So now I'm realizing, holy shit. Hot diggity damn. My soul listened when I said I wanted it so bad. So I'm going to have a conversation with this guy, and I want to make it clear to him I'm not interested in participating in a competition just for the experience, just to be on stage. Like, I want to fucking win. And if you're not going to push me without injuring me to the point that I fucking win, then no, I'm not going to hire you. And he's aware that I want to do everything completely natural, and I'm not willing to mess with any of my hormones. He actually prefers natural clients. Life finds a way. When it's an experience that you need, when it's an experience that will grow you further in your understanding of yourself, your capacity, capability, and worth, life has a way of making it happen. All you have to do is get out of your own way. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take me showing up. It's going to take me doing everything he tells me to do. It's going to take me committing to a process that's going to challenge the fucking shit out of me. It is. Because then it brings all of these different strengths together in one package. I can lose weight really, really fast. That's so fucking easy to me. I can lose a shit ton of weight and get very, very lean very, very fast because that's what my body wants, but I'll lose all my muscle. I can also experience extreme hypertrophy in a very short period because I know how to manipulate my body naturally, but I can't do that and be lean. If I can show myself that I can do both opposing polarities, what does that tell my human brain about what my soul is actually capable of? This competition is not about a competition. This competition is being used as an analogy for me to see what I'm capable of on a soul level while living a human life, merging the two and existing in a full totality. You got to see beyond the surface level of why you're experiencing things. If you can see beyond the surface level, you can see why you don't have to take it personally. Why it's simply part of the process that gets you to the next part. 86%, 4, 7, 12, 12. 8 is the number of reunification, the number of convergence. 6 is a number of receiving. 4 is the number of self. 7 is the number of completion. 12 is the first steps to take this journey. You're being told by your soul, it's time to allow your parts to come home to you so that you can receive yourself, feel complete within yourself, and finally takes the first steps of your journey. Ooh, that's one hell of a message. That's one hell of a message. Your process, your truth. You're in the part of your journey where your process is being acknowledged by you slowly but surely. Absolutely, badass blind woman. Anything is possible so long as you show up when you are called to show up by soul. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Union in reverse. This is telling me that you're waiting for someone to hold your hand, to walk you through the steps when all you ever really needed was you. Being open to the different connections is good, but thinking you need those different connections to achieve what you need to achieve, not so good. That creates a dependency on something outside of you. So, circling back around to personal trainer. I myself am a personal trainer. Do I have enough experience for competitions to be able to do this as efficiently as I want to do it? No, I don't. I can eventually get there. I understand my capacity to learn. I understand my capacity to learn and apply the learned information in the most powerful, most efficient manner. I'm very good at that. But do I need to do that? No. I need to allow someone to walk with me, to guide me. And as they guide me, I can refine their guidance, knowing the capacity that I hold inside. I'm telling you, my body can do some crazy ass shit. It can do some crazy, crazy shit that is not very common. And I know what those things are. With his awareness, his experience, I can fine tune everything and achieve what I want and need to achieve in the time frame I've set for myself. This is not about dependency at this point, at least for me in this part of my journey. This is about recognizing that sometimes you need to be exposed to those who have already done it and learn from them, which I'm open to learning from people. Are you open to learning? And is your level of openness to learning the very thing that's hindering your process? Because for many people, you might say you're open to learning, but the ego kicks in the moment someone is sharing information with you and you resist it, you fight it, you have this urge to prove that you're not less than. I'm like, shit, show me everything you know, motherfucker. Show me everything you know. You know what I mean? Push me, make me fucking cry. Push me until I cry and I will fucking show you what I can do. Or don't make me cry. I mean, I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I'm just saying, right? Invocation in reverse. This is telling me that you don't have to call something to serve as an intercessor for you. Your process, your truth. This means all of it rests on your shoulders. Death, an end to those old cycles, old cycles. You need to let that get phased out so that you can manifest. Ooh. And part of your manifestation requires you to step into your masculine energy. For some of you who are already existing in your masculine energy because you keep fighting with everyone just to have the opportunity to exist, y'all need to slow it the fuck down. Okay, be a feminine masculine. Just balance that shit out. As someone who's extremely masculine myself, although I look feminine, we need to balance that out. We need to balance that out. I was teaching my class yesterday. My classes, they're fucking badass. Oh my God. My class is badass. We're at the tail end of my certification course. And they were assessing me and my injury because I had my rib pop out in the middle of class. Ah, yeah, I disappeared off video. And then someone asked the question, so I wanted to show them I didn't leave. I'm still here. And when I turned the camera back on, I was in the process of popping my rib back in. I was laying on my yoga ball. So they see me laying, like right here, just laying. I'm still here. So I tasked them with assessing me, my injury, my state of health. I tasked them with, you know, really just assessing everything. And they ended up doing etheric surgery on me to, some of these things. Yeah. I needed to allow it. I needed to get out of my own way. I needed to just let those who have the capacity do what they need to do. Sometimes, although you're highly capable, um, because of the way your mind functions, the way you've been programmed, you're only allowing yourself to be highly capable for everyone else but you. Ain't that some shit? For everyone else but you. And until you can completely deactivate those programs, this thing happens where you can't actually fully heal. You see this in your teeth, you see this in your body's process of healing. So until that corrupted coding was extracted from my field, removed with surgical precision, my body was going to continue to re-injure itself. That's why I feel fine today, even though I worked out. I feel fine. Why? Because the very thing that continued to loop me in the same process of re-injuring to trigger, re-injure to trigger, re-injure to trigger, that was removed. But Emmy, I thought you were like the greatest of all time. First off, I'm not a fucking goat. I'm a sea goat. They're different. I can do it for someone else, but I can't do it for because we're conditioned to believe that if we do something for ourselves, if we use our abilities and our gifts for ourselves, we're somehow selfish, we're somehow greedy, we're somehow some evil ass motherfucker, right? Fuck all the people who keep trying to convince me I'm evil. I don't give a shit about your opinion. So it was a perfect opportunity for my class to be able to recognize their capacity while gifting me with an opportunity to clear that program out. So I'm not willing to be re-injured again. Does that mean I will never be re-injured? I don't know, but I'm taking the necessary steps and precautions to ensure that the risk is minimal. I can't guarantee anything in the future, but I can increase the likelihood of specific outcomes that I prefer based on how I choose to move through the process. Your process, your truth. Are you continuing to choose the very things that continue to loop you back around into the same cycle that hurts you just to trigger you? What are you doing with that triggering? It's like, have you guys ever heard of, I think it's called a canic or a janic? I don't fucking know how you pronounce it. It's a type of pew pew, and it's a sidearm. It's a pistola. And there's this like little feature. It shows you at the butt of the slide that it's actually cocked. That if you have a magazine in there that's loaded, you now have one in the chamber, right? So as part of safe handling, anytime any of the pew-pews come out of their storage, first and foremost, we check by pushing the slide to visually inspect that chamber so that nothing is in that chamber. That's how you first start safe handling. So you do that. But this time I pushed it a little too far. And so it actually cocked. But there's nothing in the chamber. There's no magazine. There's nothing. And it just indicated that it was loaded, even though it had no munitions in there. And then my husband informs me, like, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't cock and click because I don't know what it does. Someone told him something and then he told me, and I was just like, okay, fine. I won't do that. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. So is that what's happening to you? Are you cocking with nothing loaded? And then you're wondering why nothing is being shot out, that there is no outcome that you are expecting. Well, if you don't know the process, then why are you expecting an outcome that you can't even bring to fruition? Isn't that obnoxious? That's like the equivalent of expecting to hit your target and not understanding that your weaponry needs to be level to the ground. You can't hit it like this and move yourself up or move yourself down to line it up visually because it's not pointing at the target. It's not. You're going to hit wherever that projectile shoots out to. So if the end is up, you're going to go up. You're not going to hit what you're trying to hit. You won't have the outcome that you want. If you don't know how to secure your positioning within the process that you're in, you still will not get the outcome, even though it's aligned perfectly with the ground. How do you do that? You have to brace yourself. You have to know how to control the muzzle. So how do you do that? Well, if we're talking long range, full barrel type stuff, put it on your shoulder. Put it on your shoulder, line it up. Don't turn your head like this. Line it up. Line it so it's even with your eyes. Secret. That's it. I hit everything that I point at. Why? Because I understand now the process that I'm in. If you understand the process that you're in, your likelihood of hitting it with accuracy, intentionally and accurately, increases tremendously. What life process are you in? And people will witness you as you're developing your skill, as you're cultivating this ability. They'll witness you and they'll make judgments about you. Last time I was at the range, it was an indoor range. The guys thought I was just this little kawaii thing because I mean, my Pew Pew case has Hello Kitty on it. She's cute. She's cute. She's pink and she has like an AR. It was cute. So I put it on my case. And then they thought that I was completely incompetent until I started banging it out. At which point the entire range got quiet. Ain't nobody asked you guys to stop. I'm minding my own business in my own lane. Ain't nobody asked you guys to stop. Suddenly their perception of me shifted. When I was done with the magazine, which that's all I wanted to do, I was just testing to make sure I still had my accuracy at about 100 yards. I brought my target back and they saw the clover patterns, tight groupings, and guess what? They were like, have you ever considered being an instructor? No, I'm just a girl. No, I don't even know. I don't know the names of things. I just like what I like and I point and I shoot and things happen. I don't know how to explain that to someone. I don't want to be an instructor. Let people witness you and misjudge you. You're doing them a favor when you allow it, and then they witness you existing in your truth. How are you doing them a favor? Because it teaches them to stop judging people before you actually see the capacity of the individual. just by existing with no apologies. You need to get out of that space of incubation. You got to stop hiding. You got to stop hiding. You got to stop pretending just to fit in. Baby, you weren't meant to fit in a box. You know what they put in boxes? Inanimate dead things. Those are the things you put in a box and keep in there. What else do they keep in boxes? Do they keep anything in boxes that are not meant to stay in boxes? Yes, gifts. The only reason a gift is placed in a box is for the element of surprise. I think maybe that's a message from soul that it's time for you to surprise these motherfuckers just by existing in your most natural state with no apologies, no shrinking, no hiding, no none of that. What do you guys think? Like, really think on that, right? The interference, if you're allowing it, you can't get mad at other people. If you're allowing it, you can't get mad at other people. But Emmy, they won't stop. Okay, they can do whatever the fuck they want. They can do whatever they want, but what are you focusing on? Because if you're focusing on something else, someone else, that's a choice, isn't it? That's a choice. So I have had moments where I have witnessed certain things. And I don't get mad because I'm not a jealous person. I'm not a jealous wife. But I have seen situations, and I usually won't say anything just because it's like, who cares? Where some ladies at the gym will see my husband and they'll find him attractive and they'll try and get his attention. But he's a Gemini and he doesn't give a fuck. Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. It's not an act. I've been with him for like 26 years. He's just like, the fuck are you doing? Yeah, he thinks it's weird. That's probably why I've never entered into a jealous state. I've never felt like it was appropriate. Why would I need to be jealous? Why? He's not doing anything to make me feel as though I'm less than. That is interference. That is an attempt to derail your progress. That is an attempt to put your attention where it doesn't belong. So don't. It's a trap. You see that? It's a trap. It's a trap. For some of you, the trap is in trying to enter into a space where you're bathed by the light. Okay. In order to be bathed by the light, you most likely will be blinded by it. Let that sink in. In order for you to be bathed by the light, you will most likely need to be blinded by it. That is a natural, very common side effect of existing bathed in extremely bright light. So, what do you need to do? Exist in center. So you can be exposed to the light as well as the shadow, and you can begin learning about yourself and your power, but also still remaining accessible to the light. So that way you don't feel afraid of what it is you're doing, and all of that. Because he knows he's got all he wants. Yes, but also he's kind of crazy. He once told a woman who we're at like an open air marketplace. This was years ago. He once this woman was trying to flirt with him and he wasn't trying to hear any of it, right? And no, I wasn't right beside him. I was like a booth away. And I didn't know what was happening. All I know is I heard him get loud and he says to her, "No, have you seen my wife? Do you know who my wife is?" And I was like, what the fuck is he arguing with somebody? Is he arguing with somebody? What is going on? So I go over there because, like, you know, he got loud. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, this bitch is trying to tell me to leave you. And I was like, relax, calm down. He was genuinely offended. I was like, okay, do you want to? No? Okay, so just keep it moving. Don't buy anything from her. Just keep it moving. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Stop allowing yourself to get distracted by the things that are trying to drain your energy. Why would something want to drain your energy? Well, to effectively halt your ascension mechanics, you need fuel for that. It's like someone entering your car and revving your engine for a prolonged period for no fucking reason. Why are you going to do that? You know that burns up your fuel, right? Especially if you have like more than 4 pistons. If you have like a V6, V8, V12 shit, your gas is gone, baby. Your gas is gone. Would you let someone pop your gas tank open and siphon out your gas? Because that's what you do when you play into this bullshit that people try and suck you into. If you haven't done anything wrong, you need to maintain your innocence by not interacting with the tainted people. It's not going to give you clarity if you interact with them, because really they don't have clarity within themselves. Who starts shit with someone that didn't start shit with you? So this is where you need to get honest with yourself. Did you start shit? Did you initiate this? Were you the one who did something to begin with and now they're just reacting to you? Because if you weren't, dispel that darkness, let that shit go. Let that shit go. They need your fuel. They need your fuel. Ooh, Soul says, in order for someone to fully destiny swap with you, you need to be not present on your journey. You need to have backed away. You need to have gone into a space of hiding. The more present you are, the more people will witness and come to the conclusion themselves that a person is copying you, trying to be you. All you got to do is show up. People aren't stupid. And the stupid ones who would believe it, I mean, that's no loss. Nothing grinds me more than lack of intelligence. Oh, not even joking. Nothing grinds me more than a lack of intelligence. It's just like, how many times were you dropped on your head? It's not a question if you were dropped on your head as a child. It's a question of how many times did it happen for you to get to this level of what the fuck are you doing? I can't stand that shit. I can expect so much from people. I can accept flaws. I can accept missteps. I can embrace someone's totality, even though they're annoying to everyone else. But the moment you start showing me the lack of intelligence, like, stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. Because I feel like stupidity is infectious. When someone starts acting stupid towards you, I mean, what's your knee-jerk reaction? What, to match that energy? I mean, that's what social media is programming us to do, right? I match energies. Okay. You're dealing with someone who lacks intelligence. You're going to match that energy. Okay. You're dealing with a clown. You're going to match that energy. Okay. So now we got 2 clowns in a circus. Okay. That makes sense. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm just going to fall quiet. I'm not even going to point out what it is that you're doing. I'm just going to get real quiet and I'm going to back away and I'm going to let you live unbothered by my existence, because my fuel is for my rise. It is for my healing, and it is for me to use to find my center and exist there. I recognize that I have a very specific view on life and that not everyone shares my view. And just because not everyone shares my view does not mean my view is suddenly invalidated for my life and my journey. These are my standards for myself and no one else. And this is why I don't go and correct other people. I'm kind of just like, this is the boundary you crossed out. Okay, you're out. Thank you. Goodbye. I mean, I don't know everything and I'm not an authority over humanity in any way, shape, or form, but I will not settle on what I will allow to be in proximity to me. For what? I've done that my whole life. I've done that my whole life because I know how I am and who I am, AKA a people pleaser. I'm very selective of who has access to me. Why? Because the people who have access to me are people that I will go out of my way to please. I will go out of my way to make sure you know how precious you are to me, how much I cherish you, how much your presence means to me in my life. Yeah, not everyone deserves that honor. Your process, your truth. You get to decide who you allow near you. If you're going to allow someone near you just because of how long you've known them, I don't know what to tell you. You know, an interesting thing happened. I was writing a portion of my book that taps into things that have happened in this life. And I noticed, although a specific person had been part of some of those events, nothing about them was mentioned in my book. And I'm like, why did I do that? And I realized because I finally let that person go. Why did I let that person go despite having known them pretty much my entire life? I don't need a frenemy. I don't need someone who is irked by the fact that I exist, by the fact that they can't control me, by the fact that I'm not dependent on them, by the fact that I'm just who I am. Because who I am, for whatever reason, irks them. They don't have the courage to say it to my face. Does there need to be a confrontation there? No. Is the love for them gone? No. But I'll never interact with them again in the way I used to. Maybe not even at all. I don't know. As of right now, probably not even interact at all. Why? Because I wasn't bluffing or playing a game when I said I was done, that I wasn't going to let them continue to do to me what they were doing. I might not know the gravity of the work that I do and the presence that I have in the general public, but you are not going to sit there and say things to make me feel like I'm worthless and that the work that I do is irrelevant and lacks value. You see, I have the capacity to receive what's being said behind the words that are actually being spoken. So, although what you said was, oh, yeah, you need to go to your little show, your little YouTube thing, what I heard is your existence and your value is nothing to me. And I'm going to need you to believe that because unless you do, I'm going to need to keep saying things that undermine the value you've already showcased to the world. So I'm good. I'm good. Um, yeah, I don't have a huge following. I don't have hundreds of thousands of followers and subscribers. I have something much more precious. I have a genuine community of authentic people. All of you are my equals. Like mind, like heart. I would never trade that for millions of followers. Never. So when someone shits on me and diminishes the community that's formed around me, that brings everything into clarity for me. It does. It brings everything into clarity. My process and my truth is that they are no longer, and have not been for a very long time, they are no longer needed. They are no longer necessary in my journey. They are aligned with a version of me that no longer exists. And everything these people do who are aligned with a version of you that you have outgrown, they will do everything in their power to pull you back into that space of being the same version of yourself that they were able to dominate, they were able to use to fluff their ego because they're insecure. Your insecurity is your responsibility. I don't care how long I've known you. You will not invite me to exist in a space of insecurity with you at my detriment. No, that type of behavior has a very real consequence, and the consequence is exile. You are effectively excommunicated because maybe it needs to be said. Although it's my little YouTube thing, it's my little TikTok thing. I have community members on every single continent except Antarctica. Yeah. And I did not realize that I used to post the audio portion of my live streams on SoundCloud. It's a couple of years back. I used to post it on SoundCloud. And SoundCloud, when you are looking at the analytics, you can look at your demographic, right? What region of the world are your listeners from? How many clicks, how many replays, all those different things, right? Unique views and all of that. And what really drove it home for me, but I still struggle to comprehend what exactly it's supposed to mean, is that when I clicked on the geographic location of where my listeners are from, strictly on SoundCloud, tell me why the entire fucking map lit up. I was like, oh, well, that's pretty cool. Huh. How the fuck they'd find me? How the fuck did they find me? Like, what? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. But cool. That's cool. So maybe I just needed to see that so that when the time came for this person who once held so much gravity in my life, they once did, that when they went to go and try and tear my perception of myself down, I would remember the visual that I saw because it was actually a world map. It didn't just list the countries. If it just listed the countries, I probably would have scrolled and been like, oh, whatever. But it's visual. So I saw the whole world light up except for Antarctica at the bottom. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, okay, whatever. And SoundCloud is not my primary platform. As a matter of fact, I don't think I post on SoundCloud anymore. Yeah. These people who want to say so much about you, your process, and your truth, they don't even know you. They don't even know the gravity of you. They just know that they want you to remain in the spaces of accessibility and dominion that they've had you in for as long as they have. No. And I promise you, it's not worth explaining it to these people because you know what happens? When you explain it and what you're saying is valid and they fucking know it, they know what they did, they know what they said, they know what they intended, right? When you explain it to them because you're trying to be mature and emotionally evolved and have emotional intelligence, They will then go and gaslight you into thinking you're just being a bitch. Like, I never said that. I don't know why you took it that way. No, I took it in the way that you intended, because I'm not a fucking idiot. I took it in the way that you intended. So I've learned I don't even explain myself to that type of thing anymore. I just bow out. Farewell. Reborn from shadow. We don't have to go through this process where you're destroyed and thrusted into your shadow, where you feel afraid and lost. You don't have to, but if you choose to, make it work in your favor. Make it work in your favor. Allow it to further ripen your awareness of yourself and your process, where you're positioned within that process, the direction you're facing, and what it is you want and need to accomplish within the time frame that you've set for yourself. Those things are important. I flip the tables on BS now. That takes so much effort, and you might get a splinter. What I do is I just get up from the table and walk away. I don't give a shit if I haven't finished the bullshit they were serving me. Maybe they can save that plate for someone else, but I'm not eating it. Twin ray healing, it's in reverse. If you're waiting for your twin to be the thing that completes you, baby, you were born complete. That twin is a counterpart. It is an enhancer of the lessons that you are learning. It's an enhancer, an amplifier. Sometimes it's the very catalyst. You got this journey all on your own. Listen, all you have to do is listen. And when you feel friction, you have to stop seeing that as an injury, an insult and injury. Friction is evidence of movement. The greater the amount of friction, the higher the rate of movement. So see it for what it is. Stop allowing that friction and that frustration to undermine the formation that you are building for yourself. If you don't, you're going to continue to repeat these cycles. These cycles will continue to repeat so long as you don't allow yourself to walk away from the very things that are forcing you to continue to cycle. I refuse. I'm sick and tired of being in the presence of people who are offended by the gravity they see that lives inside me. I don't even see it. They see it and they're offended by it. And I'm kind of like, I'm just in my fucking lane being myself. What am I doing? Not a damn thing, but being me. And sometimes that's enough for other people. So leave it without clarifying. Leave it without clarifying, because guess what? They had no interest in understanding you. If they did want to understand you, they would have asked you questions rather than jump to conclusions and accuse. Yep. That's very, very true for social media, just so you guys know. I know so many of us, well, I'm not really part of it, but so many of you attach your value to your social value. The amount of hits and clicks and likes and comments and hearts that you can get on social media. You have a value that extends beyond this life. Stop diminishing it to something that is just, it's frivolous. You're famous on social media, and what? I have a huge following. I have hundreds of thousands of people following me. Okay, well, there's people who exist who have millions. And what? I have more than you. Good for you. I hope you're proud. But that doesn't diminish my value. And what? Nothing. Nothing. If there's one thing you take away from this conversation, I hope you receive this in the way that I intend. It doesn't come from a place of ego. It comes from a space of just being blunt in the sharing of what I have witnessed with over 13,000 clients since 2017. I've never made it a goal to have the analytics that I know I'm capable of. I'm capable of big numbers. I'm banned, shadow banned across all social media. I'm currently on a TikTok live stream ban. I can't use my live streaming app to live stream on TikTok. That's why I have two devices. Why? What did I do? Nothing. Nothing but speak the truth and empower people. So I don't have the following count. I don't have the clicks, the hearts, and the comments because I'm not going to spend my day trying to um, farm more interest, right? I know how social media works. You make a post, you time that post for when the traffic to your page is the highest. And then when you make that post, you stay online for at least 30 minutes. So the people who comment, you interact with them and you give them a sense that you're developing a relationship with them. No, people get weird with me, so I'm not going to do that. No. Yeah, there will always be people who have more following than me, right? Good for them. If that was their goal, good for them, because that's never been my goal. Here's the thing, though, that I need to say that doesn't come from a space of ego, but a space of factuality. What I do and when I interact, it will change your life. It will change the way you live, the way you exist, the way you move through your circles, the way you move through your circumstance. You will never be the same again in a very good way, in a very empowered way. And I don't need social media to validate that. I have living, breathing human beings who validate that day in and day out since 2017. It's still hard for me to receive that validation, but that doesn't mean I don't hear it. That doesn't mean I don't listen when people validate me. I carry my value, and my value is increasing with every single layer and level I allow to shed so that more people can see my shine. And does that statement mean I'm better than others? No. I mean, if you think it does, then that means you're comparing yourself to me, and your insecurity is not my problem. My shine is for me and myself alone. It just so happens that God created me with such a shine that helps others to find their path back to themselves. So that hopefully, once you reach your home within yourself, you can turn on your lights and shine too, because you're not my competition and I'm not yours. Remember, I exist in a community of equals. There's no hierarchy. You're either part of the community or you're not. And if you're not part of the community, if you get booted, there's a very big fucking problem that you're not willing to address. Absolutely. Your behavior is off. It's wrong. It's inappropriate. And I will not receive that. I will not welcome that. Because at the end of the day, yes, this is a community, but this is my space to do with as I please. And no, I'm not a public figure. So that doesn't mean, well, that does mean that I don't have to allow just anybody in, all of these people allowing anyone in, tolerating all these ugly ass behaviors because they want the viewership. That's fine. If that's your goal, I'm not even hating on that. That's fine. Earn your bag. For fucking real, earn your bag. But don't think we're the same. My process, my journey, my truth. I share a space so sacred that it must be kept sacred. And whatever trash ass behavior, it gets pushed out. I will not allow that because you don't take a shit in a sanctuary. You don't. And I'm not apologetic for having that standard. You will see people attack me because I have standards. My process, my truth. I used to allow it, but now I won't. And I'm perfectly fine with the consequences of people getting pissed off, that they no longer have free access to feed on my community. Abso-fucking-lutely not. I'm a mama bear of a whole nother level and caliber. You will not feed on anyone who shares space with me, and I will not apologize for it. And if it pisses you off, good. That means I did my job blocking you the fuck out. Notice how I'm not apologetic. You shouldn't be either. Never apologize for having standards and upholding them. I gotta go. My session is starting. I hope that whatever you needed to hear to kind of help get you a little bit further in your journey, I hope that you received it in whatever way your soul intended for you to receive it. The things that I say are open to your interpretation so that you can properly apply to your life and your journey what is appropriate for you. I will not sit here and pretend like I know everything. I know a lot for me and my journey. Absolutely. I'm fucking living it. I don't know much about yours. I can simply share what I've lived through, how it's affected me, and how I've grown, in hopes that you can take that as some type of analogy for whatever you're going through and begin using your critical thinking skills to find a resolution that works for you, one that's feasible as a long-term solution. I want you to be empowered. I don't want you to follow me. I want you to be empowered as you share space with me, as you walk beside me. Don't ever let anyone convince you otherwise. You're built not to follow, but to forge your own path. So start. That's all you got to do. You do that by being yourself with no apologies. I love you guys. I'll see you again very soon. Let me just see. Ooh, I think this weekend, I'm not sure though. I'm not sure of the dates. Very soon, I'm going to be having my morphogenetic fundamentals workshop. For those on TikTok, you can go to the link in my bio, click on the link and look for the morphogenetic fundamentals. If you're on all other platforms, I think I'm like on 10 platforms right now. Simply click on the QR code on the screen or the link in the comments, and it will take you exactly where you need to go. This system is not taught anywhere else. It cannot be found anywhere else because it's a system that I was born into this life simply knowing. Yep. And I absolutely gatekeep that information. Absolutely. Oh, it's on the 19th. Thank you, Lindsay. It's on the 19th. So you have like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. I don't know. It's too much to do math right now. Just stop. I gotta go. I love you guys. I'll see you again very soon. Bye, everybody. Let me